so sorry. Technology has decided to, am I live? Has decided to deal with me this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, Oluwakemi. Good afternoon, Esther. Good afternoon, Ibukun. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I will just give a few more minutes. I apologize for. I realized that the link I sent earlier wasn't loading, and I had to do another link and send it out. Good afternoon, Chinyere. Good afternoon, Blessing. Thank you, Luakemi, for saying that you can hear me. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure I could be heard, but thank you for trusting me with your process. Oh, you're welcome, Ngozi, Blessing, Chinyere. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. And we'll be starting in let's just give it another 2 minutes. But before we start, just let me know what your expectations are for the afternoon, and let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you feel about being here today. Let's just hear from you. I'm reading your comments and I'm waiting. Good afternoon, Lily. Okay, I think we've waited long enough. I hope to rediscover myself. Woohoo! A little hitch with our technology this afternoon. I've been practicing for this day, trust me, but technology has a way of dealing with you. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. I'm here for encouragement. Oh, Ibukun, I hope you get encouraged. I trust that you will get encouraged. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, everyone. Oh, practical tips on overcoming the inertia of our lives. Wow, yes. Inertia is a real thing. Inertia is a real thing. Sometimes we get into auto mode. We don't realize how much, everything becomes a routine. And yeah, so yes, we will be starting. Let's just give it to 10 minutes past 1, and we will start. It's the 2 more minutes. Okay, Grace says, I am so happy to be here, and I'm happy to receive you too. I don't know if you can see my slides, and I don't know if you can see me. I just need to know, to confirm what you can see right now. Is it set up? Is my slide showing? Okay, I just need to confirm that everything is set up nicely. Thank you, Bukon. You can see me and you can see my slide. Yeah, sorry, I was just talking to my technology guy, my my husband, who helped me to set up. Yeah, because I need to know that I can be seen and I can be heard. So yes, we're here this afternoon. It's 1 o'clock. It's 1:10. I think the new link I've sent should have been received by now. We're here to talk about the Rediscovery Blueprint. And I know that this topic is important to a lot of us because as moms, we get stuck in everyday living, we get stuck in everyday life, and then life just happens generally. Life happens. And yeah, and then we get stuck somehow. Some of us get to that old age, and then we start to find, oh, what have I done with my life apart from children, having good children or having children. Some of us find out early enough. Oh, my voice is quite low. Sorry, let me sort that out. If you give me a minute. It says my voice is quite low. Can you hear me? Is it still low? Is my voice still low? Oh, Bukola says she can hear me clearly. Your voice is fine. Bumi says your voice is fine. Welcome, Bumi. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, so some of us, get into that whole rut, and then we realize our time has gone. Our children are older, they're out of the house, and what exactly are we doing now that we have emptiness? Some of us, maybe not. Some of us, grow in our career, and even we grow in our career, we still realize that, oh, there's so much, that we have left to chance. And that is why, sometimes in your journey you have to pause, you have to, find out, there's something about life just happening. Life happens. You're going on a roller coaster, take kids to school, bring them back home, cook their food, go to work, and then there's nothing intentional about growth. And then you come to a pause and you say, stop. What am I doing with myself? What am I? Who am I? Apart from Mommy Chloe or Mommy Zoe or whatever it is we want to name ourselves. What am I apart from Mrs. X or Mrs. Y? What am I? Who am I in essence? And that's why, seminars like this or webinars like this are good for us to pause, to help us to think, to help us to go back to what it is that matters to us, what it is that makes us us. Because beyond being a mom, beyond being a wife, we are someone, and we were born with our dreams, we were born with a calling, and there's something about us that we need to fulfill. So let's just ride on. Hello, Olubukola. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Licia. Thank you so much for joining us. So now let me just talk a bit about myself. I'm a certified transformation coach and the founder of Your Discovery Coach. I'm dedicated to helping or empowering stay-at-home moms and women navigate identity shifts. Why is this important? For me, I've experienced overwhelming loss of self. I look at myself in the mirror one day and I said, where did that babe go to? I was working in the bank when I was in Nigeria, and you're like, you find yourself, you have changed from wearing suits to constantly wearing stained hoodies and sweatshirts. You're never, you dress up maybe once in a while, but it's not about the dressing up. I know you know what I'm saying. And then you look at yourself and you're like, your hair is never neat again. You're just at home. All you're doing is taking care of kids. And it's like a roller coaster. You're just rolling from one chore to another chore. And I think for me, when my shift came, was when, I just got it. It was a simple text. It wasn't simple. It was a text that I was wondering, this kind of text that you're asking yourself, how is this person viewing you that they will send this type of insulting text messages to you? And I realized I had become a pushover. I had realized that I had become, a people pleaser. I had realized I had pushed myself so much in the background that anybody could talk to me anyhow. Anybody could, walk up to me, ask me questions, ask me for help. I'm not saying you asking me for help is a bad thing, but it was just a putting myself in a place where I had become the backboner. Every other person's needs was above mine. You want help doing something, I'm there. You need help, straightening out something, I'm there. So being a pushover was just something I had never imagined myself to be, but I had become. And being a people pleaser was something I had never imagined myself to be, but I had become. And I started to say to myself, no, I have lost my power, I've lost my voice. You're there for everyone. And that was when my shift happened. When that text message came in and I realized that, oh no, this person was just taking the mic and taking me for granted and was just not, I had never had that kind of relationship before. I've always had, very good friends, respectful friends. But when that thing happened, I just realized I was shrinking my own self to be in a space that I was not welcome, in a space that I wasn't fit for. I was shrinking into a space where I had become someone I didn't recognize. I looked at the mirror and I had become something I didn't recognize. And that's when, I decided that was my own shift. That was when I decided that was a shift for me, that I cannot go on living on other people's terms. I cannot go on living on trying to serve everybody. But what about Debbie? Where was Debbie? Debbie was hiding. It was invisible. It was such a profound text. It was such a profound text that brought about my own invisibility narrative. You're always hiding, always, trying not to show yourself, trying not to be too much or do too much. And then at the end of the day, everyone is just, walking over you. That may not be your story. That may not be your own experience. But the invisibility narrative is something that I know moms struggle with. We hide behind the identity of, being a mom. We hide behind the identity of being, someone's wife. We are everything to everyone, but what are we to ourselves? And that's why, and out of this, I'll call it an eureka moment. Out of this, epiphany that I have, okay, I'll call it an epiphany. I decided that, I had enough. I started to work on Debbie. I started to grow Debbie. I started to be there for Debbie. I started to be selfish, in quotes, about who I was and what I wanted. And that gave birth to, what I'm doing today, through coaching. So through coaching, through immersive courses, through powerful community spaces, I guide women to rewrite their stories. You see, the thing about it is that I'm going to be 45 this year, by the way. And I may have lived my life in the shadows for the first 45 years, and that's fine. But my mom will always say something. She says, it's the day that you wake up, that is your morning. So it doesn't even matter whether you're here in your 60s. It doesn't matter whether you're here in your 20s. You can rewrite your story at every point in your life. Any point. The day you wake up, the day you stand up and you said, I've had enough. I've done enough of bending my back over for the whole world. That thing about when they need someone to go to the market, it's your name that they will call. That thing about when they need, do you know, somebody's coming from, I'm in UK. Oh, somebody's coming from Nigeria. Who is free that can go to the airport and go and pick the person? Debbie is free. You're just there for everybody. You're living your life without intention, without what are the values you are aligning to. So the day you stand up, the day you say you've had enough, the day you say enough is enough, I stand and I rise and I will fight for the things that would, for me, I will fight for my own becoming. That's the day. And that's what happened to me. It took a few months. I didn't really say, okay, I'm going to become a coach. But with every single day, I became committed to my own growth. And every single time I became committed to my own calling, I started to realize I've always been somebody who loves helping people. I've always been somebody who loves people. I'm a people lover. There's a difference between a people lover and a people pleaser. So I can love you, but I don't have to love you to the detriment of losing myself. I can love you because I stand for one thing. I stand for one thing. And my thing is, when I meet you, I want you to live better than you have met you, better than I have left you. There's something I used to say when I make new friendships. How can I be of value to you? And that's my ethos. How can I be of value is what so I started thinking, I started praying. For those of us who are Christians who know we pray for, for direction and for guidance, I started praying, and it was always so heavy on my heart that there are women who are like me, who will be looking for someone who would help them to find themselves again. And the call to become a coach was so strong, and I couldn't ignore it. It's easier to just take a 9-to-5 job. It's easier to, but being an entrepreneur, I used to say to people, it's not my thing, but that's not true. Who gave you this? Who gave you these labels? And we're going to be seeing how we're going to throttle down and learn today. We're going to learn together. You're going to share your own story with me. I'm reading your comments in the comment section. I am listening to what you're saying, even if you're not saying it. But you're going to come on a journey with me. We're going to talk. It's going to be interactive. I don't want to be the only one doing that because I love talking. I can talk. But I don't want to be the only one talking. I want to hear from you. And I want to be, I want to hear your own stories. Your own stories are going to be helpful. Your own stories are going to help another woman. And I would say one thing before I go to the next slide. For every woman who rises for herself, she gives another woman the permission to rise. I'll say it again. For every woman who rises, she gives her another woman or a child. She gives another woman or her child the permission to rise. For every time you tell yourself you've had enough of BS, I won't say it in full. For every time you tell yourself that you've had enough of, nonsense. For every time you tell yourself and you rise from the ashes of being someone else apart from who you were born to be, you give another woman the permission to rise. You give yourself your permission to rise. You give your own children the permission to rise. So this is a call to rise. It's not a call to sit on the sidelines. It's a call to rise. Now let's go to the next slide. That was just the agenda. Fine. Oh, and who is this for? Who is this webinar for? If this is for you, if you've ever felt lost in motherhood, let me see your comments if that's you. If you've ever felt invisible in your own life, this is for you. Story of my life. I actually did feel invisible. I would, it's a no-brainer. Like they tell you, like, do something. I don't want to do it. Let somebody else. What's the word? Volunteer. Your children's school. Nobody knows you. They just come in. Phew, phew. You go somewhere like maybe you're in this community like a church. I don't want to. What's the word? I don't want to volunteer myself. You start to hide in spaces. You use your children as an excuse. Oh, your friends call you, your good friends call you, and then they say to you, let's go out for drinks in the evening, for instance. Children have gone to, I have children. Who are those women? I can be among them, but I'm no longer among them by the grace of God. Kende, that's okay. That's okay. Kende, that's okay. Thank you for letting me know. And things like that. Oh, let's go. If I had a friend when I wasn't a mom at the time and she was a stay-at-home mom, and when there was what's the word, that thing you do in school, when you leave school reunion, alumni school reunion. And I said to her, oh, they want to meet. Our school reunion people want to meet. And she said, how will I go for school reunion when everybody there will be saying, oh, I work in a bank, I'm the CEO of this, and the this or that, and da. She was like, no, I'm not going, no, I'm not going. And from time to time I would invite her. Then I wasn't married, so I didn't have that problem. I didn't understand until I got married and I knew what she was saying. So when her first child turned, was it 8 or 10? I can't remember. And she went back to work. You could see the joy in her face. We're not talking about going back to work, by the way, but there was a liveliness that came out of her. Out of her. You could see her always calling me. Before, she would be hiding. She would not let anyone to call her. She would not want anyone. She would like, oh, you have to call her. You have to keep checking up on her. Just hiding. Every single thing you tell her, I have kids. Kids is not a death sentence. The minute you rise, I will say it one more time. The minute you rise and you become and you rise, you give your children also the permission to rise. So if you hide and then you say your children are also hiding, they are only modeling you. If you do not speak up, you're always hiding in church, always hiding at the back. Sometimes you'll even come late so that nobody sees you. Remember, you're a model to your child. Is this for you who feels guilty for wanting more? You want to go back to school. You want to take that course. You want to write a book. You want to do this. You want to do that. But where do you hide your excuses? I have kids. If I go back to school now, who will take care of the kids? Really? The kids are, if I'm not, and let me clarify something. I was talking to a lady 3 days ago, and she was telling me how much she wanted to rise, how much she wanted to grow. And I asked her, how old are your kids? And she said, they are 9 months, 20 months, and one is not, the first one is not up to 5 years. If you're here and you're that woman, it's okay to be at home to stay with your babies. A 9-month-old needs her mother. A 20-month-old needs her mother. It's okay. It's okay to be there physically and emotionally available for your child. So don't feel bad and then you're telling yourself that you want to achieve. There's a balance. I will say that quickly. But your children are in school from 9 to 5 or 9 to 3 or 9 to 2 or 8 to 2, whatever time your children are in school, and you're still using them to hide. Or you're an empty nester. Your children have actually left the house and you're still using them to hide. You're guilty for wanting more. You want to be there on call. And I agree, we should be there for our kids. But I will say it the last time, hopefully, because this is the word that keeps coming to me. The moment you rise, you give your children the permission to also rise. And you also give your other women and other people around you. The universe works in a very funny way. The moment you rise as a mom, you give other moms around you the courage. And it's a truth. You think you're not important, but you are important in the multiplier effect of things in this earth. You may not be called to 3 million people, but you may be called to only one person to show them an example and to give them the direction that they need to go. You may be that mom who rises and helps your neighbor in Kechi to also rise because she's dying and she's suffering in a marriage that has nothing for her. And God forbid if the husband dies. I've seen many widows, when their husbands die, they start to become beggars. No, that is not, I don't believe that is what we were called for. We are women and we are strong. So when we rise, I will say it maybe for the 6th time, we give our children and other women the permission to rise. If you feel, this is for you, if you feel like you faded to the background, you're there. It's okay. They ask you, you're now a furniture in your own house. You're part of the furniture in your own house. Even when your husband wants to make decisions, he can't come to you. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. And that's it. It's okay. It's all right. And you're like, you can't contribute to the running of the home. Everything is okay. Odogo has to do everything. The man has to do everything. This is for you. But there's hope. And there's hope. There's always hope. I learned something long ago in primary school. It says, where there is life, there is hope. I'll never forget that proverb. And then the second one I heard is, where there is a way, where there's a will, there's a way. There has to be a will for there to be a way. There's always a will. There's always a way when there's a will. Now, let's go on. Okay, so Emily said, thank you so much for clarifying that. There's unnecessary pressure to be many things because you think that you are left behind. I like that you're saying that, because obviously that's another thing that, I know I had a challenge with. It felt like I was left behind, but I kept reminding myself my why. I decided I really wanted to, when I got to England and I wanted to, what's the word? I got married at 36, so it's not as if I was a spring chicken, and I wasn't interested in chasing any career. I wanted to be a mom by all means. So I said to my husband, do anyone will come first? Now I go through. So the pregnancy came first, and I decided to and I had very difficult pregnancies. They were terrible pregnancies. I actually thought I was going to die. And I in that difficulty of pregnancy, I had an epiphany moment, and I said to myself, I'm not going to give these children to childcare for them to be taken care of. I almost lost my life to have two of them. They're not twins, by the way, but the two pregnancies were exactly the same. They were terrible. And I just said to my husband, if you're okay with it, I would like to sit down at home for 7 years. But the problem that happens is that 7 years that you sit down at home. Some people say they'll sit down at home for 1 year. Some people say they'll sit down at home for 3 years. It's okay. I like the fact that I was there for them, even though there were difficult days. There were days that my brain was overworking because children have a way of, when you're not emotionally stable yourself, children have a way of reflecting who you are. You scream, they scream. So that's story for another day. I had to learn that one. That's by the side. But my point is, you make these decisions to stay at home. But when then the children, when then you now have a leeway, or when you now have a way to move, like they're not so dependent on you, like they're not 20 months, 9 months, and under 5, just like I have said about the lady I was talking to. Don't forget yourself. But truth of the matter is, even though I had decided that after 7 years I would stop being a stay-at-home mommy, it was so hard because I had almost, use the word almost, forgotten who I was. I had almost faded into the background. I had almost lost myself in motherhood. So you need epiphany moments. You don't, so you're, for instance, you're in a sea, you're drowning, you're calling for help. You don't just bring out your hand and then you are saved. There's somebody that needs to come and drag you out. Maybe the lifeguard, maybe another friend who is a stronger swimmer. When you're drowning, you put your hand up and you ask for help. And this is the ask for help. This is an asking for help, so to speak. When you come into webinars like this, when you see advertisements like this, when you see, IG links like this, that's you're asking for help. But if you stay in your own house and you stay in your own comfort and you say, no, I'm going to drag myself by myself, it doesn't actually work that way. So I had my own epiphany moments. I had my own moments where I took myself by myself to go and find help. I joined programs. I paid for it. So so it's not just being in a free program per se. It's actually finding that hand that can help you when you are drowning to drag you out. So the pressure is there, yes, because we are supposed to be superwomen. But unfortunately for us, we're still human. The emotional strength children take from us is something that cannot be quantified. The physical, mental workload, every moment of the day. You want to go out by 10, you start to calculate backwards. If I want to get there by 10, then I have to leave the house at 9:30. If I have to leave the house at 9:30, then I have to be these children have to be dressed by 9. They must have eaten breakfast by 8:30 to be dressed by 9. And then by the mental overload, nobody talks about that. The mental drip, drip, drip in your head. You are sleeping, you are not sleeping because baby might soon cry. And you're constantly tired. But you need a hand to help you walk this road with you. I don't believe that, people say, oh, I'm trying by myself, but there's power in community. There's power in having a hand to help you walk. Anyway, let me go on. I think I've spent too much time there. So I've just talked about my story, and let me go on. Why rediscovery matters. Why rediscovery matters. You were never, ever, ever meant to disappear. You were never meant to disappear. You are not just a mom. You are not just a wife. You are not just a daughter. And you are not just a caregiver. You are a woman with dreams, gifts, and a voice that matters. Now it is the time for us, me and you, to remember who you are and to rise. Remember, can you still see me? Okay, because I saw the video was just going off. To remember who you are and arise. What you will learn today, you will learn here's what you will walk away with: how to break free from the cycle of self-doubt, how to reconnect with your identity beyond roles, how to reconnect with your identity, how to build authentic confidence, how to let go of guilt and the fear of putting yourself first, and how to map out a life that excites you again. It's just going to be an overview because everybody knows that teaching about these things, I would not want to be naive to think that teaching these things will take a one class, will just be this is today. When you finish from today, now you go out and then you start saving the world. It doesn't work that way. The truth of the matter is the things that get us to inertia, as a lady here who as the lady Ngozi here who said, things that get us to inertia, the things that get us not to moving, the things that get us to having self-doubt, the things that get us to stopping in our tracks. These things it didn't happen in one day. So for instance, somebody has been complaining, oh, I have headache today, I have body ache tomorrow, and then every time these symptoms come, they take Panadol. You take Panadol today, you take Panadol tomorrow. So you are now constantly living on a dose of Panadol. You never went to the doctor to check yourself. You never went to get a diagnosis. You never went to do anything. Tomorrow it's your leg. Next tomorrow, oh, you say it's these children. But you never went to go and get a diagnosis. And then we've heard of cases like that. Let's not pretend. And then all of a sudden you hear somebody is very sick, or somebody has, ended. Life has ended for the person. It didn't start all of a sudden. Especially for us women, we put checkups at the back burner. I'm guilty. I haven't gone for a checkup. I don't think I've gone for a checkup. Okay, I've gone for my smear pap. I think that's about it. I'm not a fan of the hospital. But now I'm saying it, I'm actually having a check in my head. When last did you go for a checkup? So it's not the symptoms. So the things that get you to self-doubt, the things that get you to, fear of putting yourself first, fear of being visible, fear of coming out of your shell, these are things that didn't happen in one day. So you don't expect a 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes, because I'm sorry about the 10 minutes that we wasted in trying to work out technology, but this is not going to be what's the word? This is not just going to be a 30 minutes thing. It's not, you can't get the full roadmap in 30 minutes. Let's not deceive ourselves. So we're just going to do an overview because I have only like less than an hour left. What's the first step? The first step is awareness. The minute I realized that I had become a pushover and I named it, it wasn't easy. I'm a nice girl, in quotes. I'm a kind girl. I don't care what anybody says about me. I know I'm kind. So I fought it. No, I'm just being kind. After all, the Bible says, do to others what you want others to do to yourself, to you. I'm a kind person. As a Christian, I hold the ethos of kindness. I am this, I am that. No. At the end of the day, I decided to stop deceiving myself and my generation, and to realize that I had become a pushover. Full stop. The day my awareness started was the day I was able to deal with the things that were dealing with me. Because why on earth will anybody just come to my DM and decide that we've been friends for 5 years, or we've been friends for 7 years, or whatever amount of years it is, and decide to talk to me as if I was a trash can on the street? I had become a pushover. I had to deal with the awareness of being a pushover. I had to deal with the awareness of being a people pleaser. I had to understand that I was finding it difficult to tell people no. Being a stay-at-home mom in UK can be very exerting. You know why? Because everybody needs help and you're at home. So what's the easiest person? Who is the easiest person to call? Debbie. Let's go and drop 16 children in her house. She would say yes. Who is the easiest person to call to go to do this and do that? Debbie. And then she will, and then you would, I'm not saying, I don't regret helping. I love the community of women that are around me. But when it start, when people who are not supposed, when you start to fit in spaces that you don't belong to, then there's a problem. You need to move. There's a problem. You need to move. When you start fitting in with, when the values you carry are no longer, you're no longer living life on your values. And I'm sorry, you need to move. When the group of women you're with no longer reflect the values and the ethos that you carry, then you need to move. So awareness, self-awareness is very key in finding out who you are. Self-awareness is so key. If you are not, if you live in denial, I'm sorry, you can't be helped. Because you cannot help or you cannot tame what you cannot name. If you live in self-denial, you can't be helped. If you can't name what is your problem, if you can't name what the problem is or what it is that you are, it's a self-denial thing. Some people like to believe they are so good. So when you tell them, oh, maybe you should cut down a little on, oh no, I'm even sowing seeds for the next generation. You don't know, you use stories like, you don't know where they will see my children in the future. And because of this kindness that I have shown, they will show my children kindness. I believe in kindness very much. I am a big believer of kindness, but there's a thin line. And until I named it, I wasn't able to move. Let's go to the second one. If you don't accept what you are aware of, you won't move anywhere. If you don't accept what you are unaware of, you won't go anywhere. You won't go anywhere. Exactly. Informer said, see finish will always accompany it. Yes, see finish. If you're not Nigerian and you're listening to me, see finish is when you take the mic. When people take the mic, like they treat you anyhow. You don't, yeah. They only call you when they need you. They won't call you when it's something important. You know those kind of things. See finish. Thank you, Informer, for that. But when you accept it, when I came to the realization, that I cannot just continue like this. I accepted it. I accepted the name pushover. I accepted the name people pleaser. But I didn't stay there, but it's good I accepted it, because when you accept it, you can change it. And it's not, for me, I also had to learn to deal with the shame of accepting it. Accept it without shame. It's okay. We all make mistakes. That's what I tell my kids every single day. If they spill water on the floor, I say, it's okay, we all make mistakes. What do we do when we make mistakes and they echo after me? We learn from our mistakes. So it's a learning point. Every experience you've had in life, whether good or bad or in between, is a learning point. And take it that it's a learning point. But you won't stay there. It says alignment. And then you take yourself from the place of acceptance and you start to align again. So I started to, do an audit of my communities, remove myself from this WhatsApp group, remove myself from this WhatsApp group, remove myself from this WhatsApp group. Even alumni groups, if I come out myself, sometimes they're always reminding them, the only thing they do in alumni group is to remind themselves that I used to like you in secondary school. What's that? Please, let's remove ourselves from empty discussions. I started removing myself from WhatsApp groups, curated my phone, curated my contact list, block who I need to block, and become friends with who I need to become. I don't need 600 friends to be okay. I have good friends and they're on this call. I don't need 300 people on my contact list. Start to curate. Start to align with my own values, with my own strengths, and with my own passions. No. If I have a strength of being kind, if I have a strength of helping people, there's a way to use it, not to become a pushover. And I decided to align and reconnect with my value, with my strength, and with my passion. Sitting down here talking to you now, I'm sure I can go for 2 hours because I'm passionate about it. I'm sure you can hear the passion in my voice. Some of you will come and tell me now that I'm shouting. I'm not shouting. Sorry, I am passionate about what I do. I'm not shouting. I'm just passionate about what I do. Right. Take action. Like I said, I've said it. I took action, curated my own groups, curated my friendship list. I'm not unkind to you if I choose myself over you. No, I'm not. If you fall on the floor, I'll still help you, get you up, clean your, but we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be in the same community. We don't have to tie the same wrapper. We don't have to do the same, what's that thing called? Wear the same uniform. We don't have to. We don't have to go on the same trips. I choose the trips I go for. I choose the parties I attend, or the gatherings I attend. I choose it. Take action, small, bold steps. I took action. I didn't sit down there and cry. And then I started to rewrite my own story. So rewriting my own story doesn't take 1 year, doesn't take 2 years. Patience said, shout. It doesn't take 1 year, it doesn't take 2 years, it doesn't take 3 years. First thing I did when I realized that my life was grounded, I wrote a book. I don't know why my publisher is not publishing my book, but it will soon be out. That book was simply like basically it's a fiction book, but it was basically my own story. And I rewrote my story. Writing is a very powerful tool. You don't have to write a story. Don't get me wrong. But journaling every day, writing your own story, rewriting the script that your life runs on is a very deliberate act. When you retell a story, you change how your brain thinks about you. You know why you keep doing the same thing over and over again? You haven't stopped to think. You haven't stopped to pause to say, wait. How is the trajectory of my own story going? And you can stop it? You are powerful. That's the thing. We don't understand how powerful we are. Your affirmations are powerful. The things you speak about yourself. Some of you, people are talking to you and you say, ha, don't mind me. Oh, I stopped saying it. Don't mind me, Bawo. Mind me because I matter. Mind me. You are there with your friends. You bring up a suggestion and they say they don't like your suggestion, and then you shrink to the back. The lawyers in our group have more understanding of the matter. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. What do I know? And then you keep yourself at the back. No, woman, rise. And then you're just constantly looking for excuses. So your brain helps you to even generate the excuses. You don't understand how powerful your mind is. How powerful your mind is. The stories you tell about your life become your life. The stories that you tell about your life become your life. The Bible says, I know there might not be Christians here, but I would use the Bible as a reference point because I love the Bible and it has helped me to grow. It has helped me as a person to become who I am. So that I will reference it, but just take it as a story or take it as a philosophy textbook, and that's fine with me. But the Bible says that as a man thinks, I will say it, as a woman thinks in her heart, that she becomes. As you think, you become. Even the great philosophers of those days, they said the same thing. The mind is powerful. You need to understand that you need to rewrite your story. And rewriting your story is a deliberate act. So it might take you going back to your past. It might take you going back to your childhood. It might take you going back to your growing up days. It might take you on journeys. You might take you on journeys that you feel uncomfortable. You might not even want to confront the truth. Some of us, our blueprints is from our childhood. How they brought us up. You would want to argue that my parents were nice. I've said it. Niceness is not. We're not called to be nice. Our parents were nice, yes. It doesn't change they were nice. It doesn't change that they paid for your school fees. It doesn't change that they were your parents. But when you confront the truth, it's uncomfortable because you might begin to name things, even in your upbringing, that has contributed to your self-doubt today, that has contributed to your shame or owning your shame or carrying shame on your head, that has contributed to you feeling guilty, that has contributed to your psyche. So when you rewrite your story, don't fight. Don't fight it. Do not fight it. Do not struggle with it. The people who brought us up did an amazing job, and we are grateful to them for that. But it doesn't also mean that they were perfect, and if they could have missed out some things while they were bringing us up, and we need to just deal with it. It's our own responsibility now to take it from where they have stopped and to find our own path and find our own healing. Let's go on. I can't believe I'm still in this slide. I thought I wouldn't have anything to say. This is really my passion. Because I was like, oh, in 1 hour I'll be done. It's 10 minutes to don't worry, I'll be done in 30 minutes. I promise. Do any of these sound familiar to you? I don't know who I am anymore. I feel selfish for wanting something for myself. It's too late. It's too late. I'm 60. It's too late. They are not facts. Be careful what you take as facts. Who told you these things? Be careful what you imbibe as facts. Who told you these things? These things are not facts. And we need to be careful how we decide to label ourselves. I'm too old is not true. It's too late is not true. I'll give you a story. I went to John Maxwell's conference in February. Was it February or March? I went there in March, and John Maxwell was talking. I was like, sometimes it feels like he hasn't scratched it. I don't know if you people know John Maxwell, but John Maxwell has written 91 books so far. He has been in leadership for 50 years. He has mentored, he has coached, he has counseled, he has traveled the world giving webinars. So let's just assume that maybe he has talked to 500 million people. I don't know, because, now that social media is a thing, his messages could even have gone further. And he's 78. He said, I'm turning 78 this year. And it feels like I haven't even scratched the surface. And I was like, what's this man talking about? He has 91 books. And I said he still has 9 books in his birth canal or whatever. He called it a name that he still needs to write. He said, I feel like I should be here till I'm 105 because there's still so much in me that I need to give. He's 78. And I was just looking at him. He's 78. I will keep saying it. Some people retire at 78. This man said he doesn't feel like he has scratched the surface of what God called him to do. And I was like, oh boy. In that same meeting, there was a 90-year-old woman whom he recognized who stood up. That was her first time becoming a coach. 90 years old. In your mind now, you say everything she won't push, she won't coach. Anyway, story for another day. I read on our website that she died a few days later. But the point is, she never stopped learning, even when she was close to death. So who told you that you are too old? Who told you that it's too late for you to start again? I'll give you another story. When I was in university, I was maybe in early 20s. There were people who were there that had children my mate. So there was this girl who was studying law, and her father was also studying law. There was this other lady. I don't know what she was studying, but her mom too. I think her mom was also studying law. I can't remember. I don't know why they're always going back to study law, but it's okay. And there was my friend's mom who was there. When I said I'm in University of Lagos, she said she's in University of Lagos, and we laugh. And I'm like, what's this auntie doing in University of Lagos? But now I understand that it's never too late, my darling women, to pursue your dreams, to pursue your vision, to pursue your calling. It's never too late. I'm giving you stories of ordinary people. I'm also giving you stories of people who have made impact. It's never too late. It is never, ever too late. So be careful the narrative and be careful the labels. That's why who you surround yourself with matters. That's why the friendships that you have matters. If you have friends that all they like to do is uniform to go to party, and all they have to do, all they have in their arsenal is uniform for what's it called? Uniform for let's go to Greece, let's go to Paris, let's go to every time somebody's 40th birthday. I don't have anything against it. I'm not doing it again. Somebody's 40th birthday, we all buy the same t-shirt. We all buy. So when we go, we all line up, take picture, IG pose. If those are your circle, I won't say anything more than that. You judge yourself. So, oh my God, I am really sorry. I have the wrong slide. Technology will not deal with me today. Technology will not deal with me today. So this slide was supposed to be deleted, and my husband was supposed to put my real slide because I added more things. Give me a second, please. Just can you see me? Can you hear me? Can I be heard and can I be okay? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I apologize sincerely. Ah, technology wants to do me shaggy, but I will not be ashamed, you know. There's another thing of trying to be perfect, trying to be you want to get everything right. This is your, you know, you want to shine. Yes, I'm still human. What did I tell you? I told my children, mistakes, we make mistakes and we learn from them. So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being online with me. I'm really grateful. I don't take your time for granted, and I will try to round up as soon as possible so that I can allow us to be on our way. Thank you. So now we're going to have a mindset shift in action. I'm going to say, instead of saying mindset shift in action, we're going to move from being, you know, lost to rooted in identity. And identity is very key here. Identity is very key. Realizing that, or coming to recognition that you're not just a mom, and you're not just a wife, and you're not just a daughter, that you're a whole woman. And before I go on, I want to say something about us women. I don't know if this may be an unpopular opinion, but women are powerful. And I'm going to use someone very unpopular as an example. Why are we all suffering in this world? Is it not because of a woman? If she didn't eat the fruit in the garden, will we all be here? Oh no. Sorry. Someone says she's logged out. Will we all be here? No. I mean, we're powerful. We carry babies in our stomach for 9 months. We organize households. We don't even understand the strength and the power we have as women. We don't even understand how much the world needs us, our creative power, our resilience. You find out that when you travel, I don't know how many women, you know, this is your case, but a lot of times when you travel, you find out that the house is not the same without your presence. So you don't even understand the presence and the charisma that you carry as a woman, that you are powerful beyond. See, all you need to do is to think about it and it will happen. Because sometimes what you want to happen really does happen in the house. So you won't even be arguing with your husband, anything. Next thing you know is that he's doing what you have asked to do. Because you are powerful as a woman. Forget the fact that you're a wife, forget the fact that you are a mom or your daughter or anything. As a woman that you are, God has created you with so much power. He has created you. You are powerful just being a woman. Yes, a lot of things happen, and then we start to think less of ourselves. But if you think about yourself with the mind that you were created with, you will realize how much you can shift things, even for your own generation and the next generation. So let's not put it at the best. Let's not gloss over that comment and to say that, you know, you're a woman. She's just a woman. I know that when I go to those days when I used to go to the markets in Nigeria, and all those men in the market are trying to sell to you, and then you're like, oh, I don't want it, and then you know, be woman. I know that yes, there's some cultures that do not recognize women, or some men, unsensible men that do not recognize women, but that is not your identity. Whatever it is that the world has said about you being a woman is just that the world saying who you are. You are a powerful creature, and you should take delight in who you are. So let that sink in. That you're not just a homemaker. You are more than that. You're not just by the side, just furniture in the house. You're more than that. You are powerful. So now it also starts with remembering. Can you remember what you used to dream of? Can you remember what you used to tell yourself that you will become? Don't put that, remove that dream from the cooler, because we're going that dream can be resurrected. No, trust me. You know, when I was small, I used to act a lot, do plays by myself. I'll be doing sand here, just talking. I used to feel like an actress. And then my mom would say, no, you can't be playing by yourself. There's only witches that talk to themselves. Obviously, all those things now died because I wasn't encouraged. But I've told myself the things that I have run away from, I'm going back to it, because dreams don't die. You can bring it out from the cooler, polish it. It may take time to become it, but they don't die. And I want you to relive with that fact that you can become anything your mind dreams of. You can. From silence to confidence, confidence in voice. Remember that your voice matters. I don't know if your children are like my children. If mommy is not at home in the evening, they don't want to go to bed. I don't know what it is about women. I mean, mommy taking them. And I'm like, your dad is there. Let him put you to bed. I'm like, I want mommy. I know how small babies always want their mommy. Your voice matters. They light up at the sound of your voice. And beyond your children, there's a generation that is waiting for you to light up at the sound of your own voice. Your voice matters. Whether you're speaking up in your home, or you're speaking up at work, or you're speaking up and just simply affirming yourself, even to yourself, your voice matters. And I'll say it again, as I've said it before, be careful what you say about yourself. I remember one time I was talking to a friend of mine, and then she was like, oh, I'm so silly. And you know, sometimes I'm so stupid. Oh, stupid me. And then they say things like that, and they think that I'm like, no, I'm not silly, or I'm not stupid. Or I used to do Nigerian mom for her. I'm not silly, I'm not stupid. Oh, no. But you know, it's beyond what you say out. What are the voices in your own head about yourself? Oh, I can't rise. All these people, you know, time has gone. When will I start all over again? How will I start all over again? How will I go back to school? People have become, and they've started all over again. So there's no excuse. There's nothing that you want to do that is going to be so abnormal, because people have done it. And then from shrinking to expanding into your next season, the second half, I'll call it the second half for those of us who are above 40 or 45. It's not a decline. It's not a time to decline. It's not a time to say that there's nothing more that can be done. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. If for anything, you can do so much. You can do so much, especially if you've had grown kids. Maybe not grown. I'm not talking of grown. Maybe an empty nester, or maybe your children are now in in school. You can do anything you put your mind to do. First of all, is put your mind. And women actually have a resilience that we're not talking about here. Let's talk about it. You carry a pregnancy for 9 months. You say, oh, no. I'm going back for round 2. I'm going back for round 3. If you're like my mother, you went back to round 8. But I'm sure in our own generation, we don't go back to round 8. What is that resilience? That they say that thing is so painful and so uncomfortable, but you still... I told you my own pregnancy was hard. My pregnancy was very hard, and I still went back for round 2 and had it hard again. But I didn't stop. I was disturbing my husband for round 3 when he said he has had enough. He's the one who had enough, not me. There's a resilience that we carry. There's a strength inside of us that carries us. You see yourself, you're giving yourself every time to these children. You're pouring your life, you're pouring yourself, you're pouring everything that you have to build a home. My darling sisters, and my darling moms here, my darling friends here, and whoever you are here, whoever woman you are here, you are stronger than you think. You are stronger than you think. You can carry much more than you think. First of all, let's deal with your thoughts. So we need a mindset shift. We need that mindset shift. That's what we need. Your voice matters. You are not in decline. The only time you start to be in decline is when you stop to learn. The only time you be in decline is when you put yourself in communities and in spaces where you stop to learn, where all that happens is gossip and backbiting and nothing good. Growth will not happen in a soil that is not good. The soil has to be good. But whatever you decide, you have the power to become. The reason you are here right now is because you decided that you have had enough and you want to become. You have had enough of the self-doubt. You have had enough of the push, being a pushover. You have had enough, and you've told yourself that you would rise. And that's why you're here. And I want to congratulate you for taking that first bold step. Now let's go on. I'm going to pause. And I'm going to ask a question. I want the answers in the comment section. I want to ask you, What's one thing, just one thing, you know you've been called to reclaim in this season? Just one thing. That thing that is nagging your heart. That thing that is pushing you. I wish, if only I could just, if only I could just. What's that thing? What's that thing? If only I could just, that one thing, one. I want us to write it. Write it in the comment section. Name it. Don't be afraid. Name that one thing. It may look so outrageous. One of my one things, me personally, is to go and learn how to dance, because they always said that ordinary women don't know how to dance, and I want to prove them wrong. That if I decide to learn how to dance, I will know how to dance, and I will shock you guys. On my 50th birthday, I will dance, and I will dance well, nice dance, synchronized dancing, not just anyhow dancing. I will shock you guys. What's that one thing? It may even look silly to you, but your one thing that you know you've been called to reclaim in this season. One thing. Reflect on it. One thing. One thing. One thing. One thing. You're laughing at me. I said write one thing. You're laughing at me. You're laughing at me. Or the play side of me. That's interesting. You see, that's part of it now. That's my dancing. Dancing, you know. I'll call women, we'll dance together. We will come for my retreat. It will be a dancing retreat where we will play. We will play. And then we will forget all the things that have held us bound. Because I believe, I'm a very firm believer in that there's recreation in play. Do you know that my second was go skydiving? You guys are in my story. So I'm not the only one. I love it. I asked my kids, I told them last 2 weeks ago that your mom wants to go skydiving and she wants to learn dancing. And my daughter said, go skydiving. When you're coming down from the skydiving, start dancing as you're coming down. I said, you're a funny child. I refuse to laugh. Yes, these are little things, but they're the things that, show us that we are thinking of our next level, that show us that we are thinking of breaking out from molds that we've been, that from molds that we have created. And who says that we have to be crazy to become? Yes, let's be crazy to the world. But if that is what is going to set us free to become the things that we want to do, let us do it. What's that one thing that you know you've been called to reclaim in this season? I want us to think about it, because everything you think about, anything you think about is possible. Anything. You can walk towards it. Now let's just go on. I want to travel around the world. Welcome to my world. I want to learn to play the guitar. Go for it, girl. Go for it. Go for it. I'm telling you, there's a release that happens when you start to do the things that you've put in the back burner. When you start to live. You remember my tagline? Hey, mamas, let's start living. Come on, mamas, let's start living. Let's start living. There is something about doing what is in your heart. It gives you a release into the things that you never thought possible about you. So it might look small, playing, dancing, playing the guitar, traveling the world, but there's a release that comes when you start to live it. There's a release. You find yourself, you're lighter. You know all this that we're always doing in the house. Hey, why did you put this cup here? Why did you put this water here? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? It's because we are not happy. Let's say the truth. Because we're not happy. Nem said speak on the stage. Nem, do it. Do it. Find the stage, speak on it. Because there's a release that comes when you do the things that are, you start to see possibility. Someone said possibility to do more. Ayo said possibility to, you start to see that possibility. It starts to show. Fun fact, this is my first webinar ever. In fact, let me confess, since we're all here and we're telling ourselves the truth. The reason I was not posting on the group chat is because I was always in the office trying to do my slides, trying to make it perfect, trying to do this, trying to polish it, trying to look intelligent to you people. But trust me, all the notes I've written for this slide, they're hiding. I don't know where to find them. Technology is technologizing me. I am speaking from my heart. I'm not speaking from slides. So what are we talking about? If I didn't do this, will I know that I'll be able to do anything? No. If I kept on hiding, will I know that I will keep on hiding? I will keep this passion and I would, sleep with it. And then before you know what's happening, somebody's 90, somebody's 60, and then you're like, you can't do anything anymore. But no, that's not our story. our story we will change the trajectory of our story, and we will rise to reclaim something about us. Something about us in this season. Oh, thank you, Deborah, my namesake. Deborah arose. Arise, Deborah. Thank you so much. But I was so consumed with being here, doing this, and look at this. Because there's like I said, there's a rising that happens with other women when one woman chooses to arise. It may not be coaching. I know that I know because I struggled. I was like, it's not easier to just get 9 to 5, just get a 9 to 5, they pay you salary. I was not called. In fact, I told myself for the longest time, I was not called to be an entrepreneur. I told myself for the longest time, I wasn't called to be an entrepreneur. My dad had put it in me that 9 to 5 was the best thing to do as a person, as a human, even as a man. He used to quarrel with my brother those days. I remember so well. And why are you saying that you don't want a job? I will help you get a job in Mobile. I'll help you get a job in Kinikon. I will help you. I'll help you. My brother said he wanted to be an entrepreneur. My father said no. Anyway, that story for another day. So from small, I've always thought that being an entrepreneur was something that I won't do. But my immediate senior sister became an entrepreneur, and she's doing well. And I said, no, that's her now. She's in. You start to tell excuses. That was the former Debbie. I've left that WhatsApp group anyway. And you start to give excuses. Oh, it's her. And then you tell yourself. And I asked myself, who said I cannot become an entrepreneur? Who said I cannot become a boss lady? Who says I cannot rise and become a Deborah in my generation? Who says? Who calls these shots? Who gives these stories? Your father, you may think your father and your mother are right, but is that what God has said about you? Is that what you know deep inside of you that you've been called to do? There's a calling inside of every one of us. There's a calling. You will never know if you don't try. Some of you are great bakers. You can bake really well, but the only people you bake for are for the people in your house that will not eat it because they're tired of your baking. You've never thought of monetizing your baking. You've never thought of baking on a large scale, of going back to baking school to learn how people do professional design. You've never done it. You enjoy being in the kitchen. You enjoy cooking, but you just cook for that small group of people that come to your house because you are afraid. That's not part of my slides. Let's go on. So we're going to, this is just like a it's just like a, what's it called? A summary. There's so much that I would need to say for these things to come to life. So much I'll need to say, not in one day, not in 1 week. So much I'll need to say for this to be your story, because it's not enough to just hear once. Being in a community is like marinating meat. The longer you marinate the meat, the sweeter it becomes. So you just went to the market, you had visitors, sharp. Oh yeah. Put all the things in the fire, and then you just cook the meat. The meat will come out nice, so don't get me wrong. But you see that meat that my mother used to do during Christmas, she used to marinate her meat the night before, and then she would leave it overnight, and then she will now cook it the next day. We'll now be sucking the bone because, man, the marinating entered, the seasoning entered. You would need a community. You would need to be in the right place for the things to enter and for you to become. There's no two ways about it. You would need it. It's not a want. It's not a want. You would need to be in the right place, in the right community, with the right kind of mindset, the right kind of teaching, with the right kind of, every day they're telling you these things until you rise. It's not a one-off. So I'm going to do a quick map. You reclaim the parts of you that were silenced. The 5 arrows of finding yourself. Reclaim the parts of you that were silenced. Redefine what success, joy, and motherhood looks like. You realign your boundaries, your values, and your lifestyle. Remember when I said I had to realign my boundaries? Learn to say no. Learn to say no to learn to just say no, Sha. I don't know who I'm saying no to. Learn to say no. Learn to understand my values. Learn to understand Is it the lifestyle that I want? Every Sunday afternoon, every Monday, Saturday afternoon, we're going to wear uniform. We call it ashobi wear. For those of us that are from Nigeria, we call it ashobi. We wear ashobi every Saturday, and they were always just appearing in people's parties. No, that's not the life that I want. Rise into my second half with purpose and presence. That's for us who are above 40 or above 45. You rise, you tell yourself, look at the woman you want to be when you're 60 and ask yourself, the life that you're living now, will it produce that woman? That's a very valid question. Look at the life you are living now. Ask yourself, you say, oh, I want to be fit at 60, but you're not doing any exercise. Oh, I want to be fit at 60, but you're still eating junk. There is a little bit guilty. I love chocolate cake. Everybody knows I love chocolate cake. I'm not sure I can give up chocolate. I don't buy it and munch on it, but if I go out and I see chocolate cake, I can. It's rude for me to decline chocolate cake. Haba, it's too rude. Anyway, that's by the way. But no, eating healthy, doing the right, having the right choices, going on walks, doing exercise, mind growth, reading books. You won't tell me that you want to grow, you want to be a woman, the woman you want to be at 60, and then books are not involved. I don't know what kind of woman you are. Minding the community that you are in. Are you in a community of growth? Are you in a community of transformation? There's some communities I enter and I'm like, whoa. I go back home and I sit up, straight up. There's some communities I belong to. The women there are blowing my mind off. I'm like, Haba. They have 2 heads or more. And I have what? They have only 1 head like I do. So you mind the kind of communities that you are in. You mind the kind of places that you are. You mind the kind of places you shrink yourself to fit in. To some of those parties, you don't even belong there. You're always shrinking yourself to just be, I want to be among. I want when they say picture, IG, look at us. But inside you know that there was emptiness and nothingness inside of it. There was nothing. You didn't produce any life from that gathering. How bad? We need to move from those things because time is going. The woman you want to be when you are older, are you living the life that will produce that woman? And that's a very valid question. And remember who you were before the world told you who to be. That's very important. Before the world came and gave you their own version of what a woman should be, who are you? I'm going to go because I have 7 minutes. And I'm going to talk about my community. Obviously, you knew this was coming. It's a 5-week journey with Debbie for only £35 or 49,000 naira. What you will get are live weekly sessions to help you shift and grow, a powerful rediscovery workbook, daily journaling prompts and guided actions, access to our private sisterhood space. It will be a private. It won't be like it won't be the main group. An invitation so there's a fuller there's a fuller becoming her experience. But sorry, excuse me. The title of this experience is called Becoming Her, a rise into purpose and power. I don't know why the beginning of the slide is not showing. What you will walk away with, a clear vision, because we're going to have vision. We're going to have vision parties. We're going to work together. We're going to work closely together, have vision parties, and create a clear mapping for our next chapter. We're going to rise in confidence. We're going to push each other. I'm going to push you. I'm a pusher. Don't worry. We're going to rise in confidence in who you are and where you are going. A renewed identity. So some friends will drop off from your life, and that's okay. I told myself, I made peace with that. I was doing a when you're trying to build a house and you're trying to count the cost of building a house, and you're telling yourself, okay, no, you don't tell yourself. The builder tells you foundation will cost this amount, so to take 3 months. Building the pillars will take, so they start to charge you, they start to cost you. Even the architects will charge you, the surveyors will charge you. I'm not a builder, so I might not get the terminologies right. And then you ask yourself, how much is in my bank account? And then you check, oh, there's this so amount in my bank account. And then you ask yourself, okay, even though this is the amount in my bank account, do I have what it takes to make through and build this house? So that's counting the cost. And I sat down, I counted the cost for the kind of life I want as I grow older. Friends will drop, and it's okay. There are communities I will no longer be part of, and it's okay. It may feel like, life is boring because, maybe you're so used to being everywhere, but it's okay. It's the life that I want. So it's a decision you have to make for yourself. That I cannot just be everywhere and anywhere anymore. It doesn't work anymore, because the kind of woman I want to be at 60 is not everywhere and anywhere. She's focused, she's intentional, she draws a plan for her life, she lives in alignment with her purpose, her values and her goals. She is intentional about the way she lives her life. So if this is you and you want to come into this community, it's just an investment. I wouldn't even call it, it's an investment, because this is way more than what I am charging. It's an investment of your time. I mean, it's an investment to just keep you committed at £35 or 49,000 naira if you're in naira. I mean, if you're in Nigeria, not if you're in naira. And you will be in that community and we will grow together. The choice is yours. You can stay here and say, when does the program start? I will give it 2 weeks, because people might not be ready. I'll give you 2 weeks and announce a date. But if I want to, I can start tomorrow, but I just want people to be ready, because I know that sometimes it takes, you need to make a decision, and you might not just have that type of money sitting in your account. I hope at the end of this, we would not have people not wanting to grow. Honestly, growing is a no-brainer. Growing yourself is a no-brainer. The reason people will stay in a job, I was with a woman last year. She was 63 and she was crying. I was like, what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? And then she was like, oh, she had given 30. I'm not talking of only stay-at-home moms. It can happen to you even as a career mom. She said, oh, I'm 63 now. All the kids are grown. And then I've looked at my 35 years in that company, and all they did was to ask me to go, no payment, no, not even the payment. I can't even use the payment to pay off my mortgage. I have no job. And I looked at this woman, I said, do you know how rich your knowledge is? That if you had packaged yourself and your knowledge, you wouldn't have been living 35 years, giving all your best self to someone. She said when she recognized that, that's what she just started, she broke down. So it's not even about being a stay-at-home mom. You can be in a career that you're giving everything to your career, but you're not growing you're not growing yourself, you're not growing who your essence is. You are just there, a furniture in the career. And then you become what? You become retired. And what happens? Who are you when you become retired? When you stop answering the title of your workplace. So it's way beyond being a stay-at-home mom. Because for anybody to find meaning in life, they must invest in their own growth. It's a no-brainer. I can't tell you how much I have spent, this is May, on myself in courses and in sounded like courses. No, it's not Ekpe. It's courses. Sorry, I don't have a British accent. Forgive me. I can't tell you how much I have spent on myself in courses, in webinars, in retreats. Only me this year, 2 times I have gone to 2 different countries for retreats. I am hungry for growth. I am hungry to leave the plane of mediocrity. No, I wasn't called to be a mediocre. The moment I realized I wasn't called to be a mediocre, the moment I realized I wasn't called for mediocrity, I gave myself all in. And this is me calling you to walk that journey with me. This is me calling you to walk that journey with me. It's a token. It's a token. 5 weeks, it's a token. £35, 49K. Some of us spend much more than that. Much more on shawarma and pizza. I spend like that. I love shawarma. Anytime I go to Nigeria, I spend a lot of money on shawarma, but I still grow. I can afford both. I love shawarma. So if you know me, you know I love shawarma. But that's not the point. I'm not slighting, buying nice things for yourself. But you will spend better when you spend for your inner self than just your outer self. Even the shawarma is fattening. Even the pizza is fattening. Even the hair that you're buying is just temporary. What do you want to see about yourself when you are 60, 70, 80? Do you want to be like a John Maxwell? That 78 is still saying he has so much to give his world? Or do you want to be a 70-year, 80-year-old and all they come for you for is help me to take care of my kids, help me to do omugo, help me to, oh, I want to go to the market, let the kids stay with you? Or do you want to be a woman who people will come? You see, some people, they will never be poor. Never. I will be among them. I'm working on that. They will never be poor. You know why? People will seek their wisdom because they have grown even in old age. You know, they say old people like to behave like children, they're always bitter. It's a lie. There are very few old people who have taken their lives and their intentionality in their growth. So people still look for them to be keynote speakers. As the other day, my friend's father asked me if he could stay in my house. He didn't want to spend money on hotel, and I get it. And he said he wanted to because I'm like a daughter to him. So I was like, "Oh, let me spend time with your grandkids." He had retired since, but they were still calling him for, I don't know what it's called, like to be a keynote speaker for I can't remember the name of the organization. He came to my house instead, and I was just looking at him. He was downstairs. He had played with my kids. He was reading a book. He's not retired and a furniture in the house. No, but we will not get there if we don't invest in ourselves. I have gone 2 minutes above my preferred time, so I will answer all the questions in the group, or if there's any quick question here, let's just take 1 or 2 questions, and that is where I will call it a day. Thank you. I'm waiting for the questions. I'm waiting for the comments. If nobody has any questions, I'm happy to jump off this call because I feel like I've kept you guys so long. First of all, my technology issues, and in the beginning and in the middle, my technology issues, which I will get better at. I promise. We will sort this out. We will sort this out. We will grow with technology. Technology will not shame us. No, 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 no. I refuse to be shamed by technology. Yeah, that's just by the way. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And do have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you.